Da 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 da. Yeah, it's working. Okay, let's see if this is working. No, that's not working. Oh, it's been one of those days. And I still haven't recorded tomorrow's video for the YouTube channel. Which is annoying, but will be sorted out. This is 7th of July. Why does the 7th of July matter to me? Check my calendar. How are you doing? All the sound is supposed to be. That. Okay. How's everything going? You didn't expect a cannon for this message. The cannon comes up. The cannon is the alert. I'm never quite sure why the cannon is the alert, but the cannon is the alert. So, that is supposed to be basically it. Ooh. Let's see. That's going to be at 40%. 40%. And that should be okay. Right. Alright. So, theoretically, the sounds are working fine at the moment, he says. You can only see the start screen. Surely you can see me, right? So you can see me. Because the start screen, you should only be able to see the start screen. No, I haven't got a Canon caliber. I've been fixing sound settings and playing around with OBS. As I said, it's been a fun day following on from yesterday's fun. For those who weren't watching on my YouTube channel yesterday, my aunt managed to confuse spa hotels with going in a home. And so she suggested to my mother that she should take a week in a residential home as a holiday, or a couple of weeks to, you know, help with her arthritis. That's fun. That caused fun, is all I'm going to say. Anyway, we have now solved that particular piece of fun. That fun has been solved. But it caused more fun today because it turned out my aunt might have booked something without realising she was booking it. Or rather, realised what she was booking. Which apparently then it became my issue to sort out as I'm the smart one. Oh, holy night. Right then, so because I'm enjoying wandering around this particular game at the moment and trying to find out what exactly looks like what. I thought, let's see what's the best battleship we can build for the USA and Japan in this period. And by best battleship, I don't mean necessarily the biggest, most powerful battleship. I mean the best battleship for them. Yeah. Hopefully you can hear me, is all I'm checking. So... this is as big as you can make it. Mm-hmm. This is as fat and as shallow draft as it can be made. Probably not a bad thing. Let's try and see if we can't get the speed up to 24 knots. Oh. Yeah, we're the US Navy, so we'll say seasoned. Out of 70. In standard quarters, because, you know. We could. Electro-hydraulic. Tempted to go for unbalanced, but no. Because the US Navy are never going to get something with such low protection. Reinforced bulkheads. Right on. Let's see what the control tower looks like. Holy guacamole! Is that supposed to be Yankee Doodle Dandy? From this period? From 1910? Because that does not look like a 1910 American carrier design. American battleship design, I mean. I'm sorry. I'm just so shocked. That doesn't look 1910 American carrier, does it? American battleship. Sorry. I'm in shock. That looks... Yeah, that's American. Masts like that, that's American of this period. It's ugly as anything, but that's American of this period. How's that, everyone? Okay. Let's start off with the main guns, and let's go for the 14s. Now, let's see what we can do. A standard superimposed barbette. Yeah, we'll go for that. We'll have... Oh, good lord. we'll want increased shells, and we want heavies. Because we're US Navy, we don't do things light. Right, so maximum extra length I'm given is 12%. And forward is still the heaviest area. Let's see if we can't balance these things. Da da dee 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 dee. Ship is overweight. It's terrible. Forward offset 4.7%. How the frigate are my turrets so massive? That should fix that one. And that's about as far forward as I can get. That's on that. And now secondary guns, of course, I want my 5-inch. Because, well, why wouldn't I want 5-inch? I'm American. I don't fit anything less than 5-inch. I'm not silly. That's enough 5-inch to make me happy. But I wonder if we could. Main guns, side guns, 14 triple barrel. Can I get a twin on that? I can get a triple on there as long as I don't do much of it. They can't turn out, can they, because of that? Nope. Bam. Bam, bam. Let's have a look at torpedo launchers. Oh yeah, we want torpedoes. We do want torpedoes. Hi Jack Ray. Hi, hello Malaga. How listen? Yeah. If I move this, let's move it to one side, just so that you can see the ship slightly better. This is our American. We're building the best we can in roughly 19... I think it's 1915, 1910. I think it's 1910. Yep. So if this thing had ended service in this period, there would have been some very, very happy US Navy personnel. Incredibly happy US Navy personnel. Especially when they see what I do to this thing. Full weight offset 5.9%. Well, they were taking that down to 10. But let's see, I've got to save 200% and 200 tons. Fore belt is going down to 5.3, same as aft belt. Fore deck is as heavy as aft deck is heavier than that. Taking that conning tower down to about 16 inches. Purely for the sake of just getting rid of it down. And let's take that down to that. Let's take the main deck down to 4 inches. Still way more than they had originally. And push up the aft belt. A tad, and let's see what else can we do. Take them down to 4. Aft belt up a tad more. And take that down to 2. That down to 4. That down to 3. And use the extra couple of 100 tons to stick on the aft deck. Aft weight offset now is far too high. Add up the foredeck. Foredeck a bit more, and that's balanced. There you go. We have a balanced. I have no idea where this particular frontage comes from, the superstructure. It doesn't look to me American. Well, definitely not from the 1910s. We'll go see what the Japanese one is, shall we? Let's go see what the Japanese equivalent is. We want to also make this as fat as possible. They had pretty good crews. We're going to go with 80 for that one. And standard again. Oil, fuel. I could well be making a rod to break my own back here, because this ship might be better. Already I'm thinking this ship is going to be pretty darn good, because it's either built with the flower of British technology at the time, or it's built with the absolute best the Japanese went. Okay. Please tell me where the Japanese are getting that Mars design from at this period. Oof. That looks roughly okay. Oh, we've got a mega funnel complex. Engine efficiency 300%. Well, knowing the Japanese, they'd be pushing for a little bit faster. So that's already looking pretty darn mean. I would like to point that out before we even get on to the central line guns, which are also going to be treble 14s. I think this is going to win this fight. I have this feeling, but we'll see. We'll see. Theoretically, I should be going with 5.5, but I'm going to go with 6. Purely because I can. And because then I can stick 6 in all these. And I can feel very happy with 6s being all over the place. Torpedoes. Well, let's add some in. They're going to be roughly the same. There's not going to be much difference between them. Is there an oxygen option? Oxygen option not yet. Variable. Increased. We want... I'm sure they had a better than their counterparts at this point, but no. Still well under the weight limit. I'm over 1,000 tons under the weight limit. Anyone know what I should spend the extra 1,000 tons on? Come on, any ideas? What would be cool to put on the extra 1,000 tons on? Let's put some 3-inch guns. Let's go with the AA, traditional AA armament of the period. Yeah. We've got a load of 3-inch guns now. Isn't that cool? Still got several hundred tons to go. Try to see if I can get you up to 26 knots on that weight. No, I can't. 25.5? Oh, it's a smidge only. 500 tons still to go. Better galley. 3-inch AA? Yeah, I got the 3-inch AA. She's got everything she can have in this period. Honestly, I think she's going to win this fight. I really do. This is just me just taking it from the fact that this is 48,000 tons of capital ship versus 38,000 tons worth of capital ship. And neither has radar, and one's got 12 guns and one's got 15 guns. They've got 14-inch 38s, 14-inch 55, so possibly. Bandwidth blurring issues when I swing the camera a bit. I'm looking at the screen. I've got both Twitch active and I've got my own thing active. I will say, unless you have it on the HD setting, it does do the blurring thing. Anyway, it happened on the Japanese Valley. Let's go test this out. This look cute. This looks like, don't take this the wrong way, as if someone's gone, I'm going to replace some of Hood's engines with extra guns. It's sexy. Don't get me wrong. It is sexy. Oh, let's just launch this and see what happens. Yep, let's see what happens. I'm not gonna, you see, I like Colorado, and I think if I changed the thing to a realistic number of ships, i.e. 3 or 4 of these versus 2 of the Japanese ships, I have a feeling they'd win. Especially if you add in some destroyers, etc., because that's just such a Sable gun platform, and that is Armageddon on a plate. But, the thing is, 1v1 is not a good scenario for the US Navy. That does look cool. Oh, the longer range guns of the US Navy are already starting to tell. Oh wait, technically it hadn't turned to warship, so technically they weren't sure what it was when they opened the fire. Japanese battleship has a 2-knot advantage in terms of speed. So, enough to be interesting, not enough to be commanding. But it does have an extra triple turret. And in my experience, that extra triple turret can be very, very telling. Second salvo has hit from Japan. Oh my lord. Right, then let's take you down to your best speed. Oh. The firing. Forward guns have already been whacked. Forward guns. And you think you're fighting a cruiser? In the nicest way, after that whack, you still think you're fighting a cruiser? I think the turret is still firing, it's just yellow, so... Damage control... It looks okay, it's just yellow at the moment. I think we're in 6-inch gun range. That's not good. Okay? Being in 6-inch gun range is never good. Because that's a lot of shells coming your way. Admittedly, if I get into 5-inch gun range, this thing, Colorado's going to be sexy as anything, the amount of fire shot powers you can put up. Because I've already decided the US Navy's gone completely dual purpose and it's got 5 inches to do everything. Oh goody, she's entered 5-inch range. But I think... Oh good lord, the sheer amount of 6-inch fire that's coming for us now. Colorado has sunk due to extensive fire. I have got over the trip jet lag. I would like a note that... Okay. No, let's retry this, but with... 4... Let's see. 4 versus 2. I am over the jet lag. I have been having more fun today dealing with family stuff, but honestly, the family stuff has been dealt with mostly. How do I put this politely? So it turned out that confusing retirement homes with spa hotels wasn't my aunt's only confusion. Love her dearly. She is compos mentis, just sometimes strange, interesting. And yeah. Avoid torpedoes. Let's see. Why are you all sailing in line? Why? Please. Why were you sailing in line? Abreast. Okay. Now you're in star formation. We have Nebraska. We have... Look at the motor on 30 times 30 speed. Let's be honest. We have Truxton. We have North Dakota. We have Colorado sitting out the back, and we have Nebraska. And Truxton is the Admiral at the moment. Oh, yes, they're starting firing. The fluffy research... Have you been forgiven by the... No, the fluffy research assistants have still not forgiven me. I have no idea what they just did to each other, but they seem to be all okay. So in this scenario, we have 4 American battleships versus 2 Japanese battleships. Now, considering how comprehensively one of these just wiped out one of our battleships, you'd say this is a fair fight. But I'd reckon this is the point at which I was tempted to do 3 versus 2, but I reckon 4 versus 2 is the type at which the Americans start to win. The realistic thing is the Americans can replace their ships, the Japanese can't. You don't want to lose the crew, you don't want to lose all those people, you don't want to lose ships. But yeah, this is the sort of scenario which the Japanese were sort of preparing themselves for, and the Japanese were always sort of looking at fighting attrition war from the purpose of the underdog. Oh yeah. It's fun. What are they all? Who are they aiming at? Oh, good lord! Do you just have a from the Colorado? You're all just aiming for Colorado again. Do you just not like Colorado? And can someone please explain this formation to me that the Americans are in? Formation ahead. Ba da da ba ya the da 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 da. Normal. Ba da da ba ya da dee da 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 da. Okay, we are. Colorado is on fire already. Why are they just concentrating on Colorado? Oh good, they seem to be sharing out the fire more evenly now. Slowly they're forming up in a line. I mean, seriously. Ships do regularly collide in UAD. This is why you click this and this button. These two buttons. Avoid ships. Stop bashing into, ramming into your own ships. And avoid torpedoes. Because otherwise they don't avoid torpedoes. Who knew you had to tell ships to actively avoid torpedoes? It does depend which version you're in. Oh, good lord, we're now under 6-inch gun range. Truxton, you are going to get burnt alive by 6-inch fire. I'm just gonna... You're already on fire from stem to stern. You literally are. You are one long moving bonfire. But the good news, they're now into 5-inch range. Which means their superstructures are going to cease to exist shortly. Although... yeah, this is... something big just blew up. Fairly sure it was aboard that one. The Hosho. But the Tosa ain't looking that good. Colorado's sunk. This is not a surprise. Little fluffy cat, huh? In this game, does the ship formation make any difference if both sides are evenly balanced? It can do. It can do. If you are able to use it. If you also have speed, the formation will make a difference. If you don't have a speed advantage, then the formation just basically means you get snookered differently. So Colorado's sunk. What are you Joffrey doing? That one's at point blank range. Pummel it! Pummel it! It's literally next door to you. Hit it with everything you've got. Actually, I don't believe it. I think we've actually managed to make the Yamato Musashi before the Yamato Musashi. Because... this is painful. Yes, this is very painful. You have got torpedoes. Aggressively fire your torpedoes. Aggressively fire everything. This is painful. This is painful to watch because these are not. I'm gonna have to fix this design somehow. I'm not sure how I'm gonna fix it, but I'm gonna have to fix it somehow. But basically, suggesting that in 1910. The US Navy's ships were definitely not pound for pound equivalent to their Japanese counterparts in this game. Or rather, what the Japanese could buy from the British. Because I'm thinking the size of these things, they're built in Britain, not Japan. Fire your torpedoes! You're out of torpedo ammo. You're out of torpedo ammo. Is that what's saving you at the moment? Are they out of ammunition? Are you only being kept alive because North Dakota, because they have run out of ammunition so they cannot sink you? Whereas you have ammunition. Sink away. We will redeem the US Navy's honor. I have jammed the rudder full over. And may she at some point turn. Come on. You can do this, North Dakota. Come on, North Dakota. You can do it. You can do it. You're in 5-inch gun range. You're blasting away. You might be on fire from stem to stern, but come on, North Dakota. The US Navy is depending on you. Their entire honor depends on you. You know, Truxton is gone. Colorado is gone. Nebraska is gone. I don't know if anyone had ever had any faith in Truxton, but you're here. Do it. Do it for the US Navy. You can do this. I was thinking they were going to lose about 50%, I must admit, going into this fight. But I didn't expect it to be quite this dramatic. How is that still? I think Hosho is still moving faster than we can move. I'm not quite sure how. I think she should be gone now. Yeah, she's gone. Good for you, North Dakota. Well, let's be honest. I'm not being brutal, I'm being honest. If it wasn't for North Dakota, the US Navy would have been absolutely then. So, all thank North Dakota. Who was actually commissioned in 1910 and had 10 12-inch guns rather than the 12 14-inch guns that I've armed her with. Yeah. I want to test something out. It was an impressively Pyrrhic victory. So I'm going to design a battle cruiser. Let's see what we can do. Again, as big as we can make her. We want to go for a 33 knot speed. And they're going to have my best personnel in. Oil, forced, gear turbines. Oof. We are going to look very, very British. I'd say. Secondary guns, 6-inch again, because, well, why not? Why not have the 6-inch? Because the 6-inch are pretty. The 6-inch are pretty. And they give us a very, very capable, you know, fire plan. Now, let's see. Full weight offset is pretty massive, but we'll get everything else sorted out first, and then we'll deal the rest. So, currently, overweight. Now, how is the full weight offset quite so heavy? Let's see, what's so problem with the full one? Putting my 3-inch anti-aircraft weapons. Always good to have those. Right then, let's see what we can do about this. 9, 9, 9, 6, 5. Yeah, leave that. I'm about 1,000 tons overweight. Full belt 3. No, I want my main tire back. Thank you. I want it back and I want it there. Ooh. Range casemate guns. There you go. It's actually pretty darn pretty. And let's see. Can we up the speed even more at this point? Forward offset. Bum, ba-dum, bum, Bad, bad. That should do. Now, not quite a traditional design, but I'm going to call this the definitely special vessel of the Alexei Japanese Navy. Yeah, this is this will be fun. This will be fun. Very fun. Right, and let's go see what the other side are going to be bringing to this. Let's build a American battle cruiser. Again, we're doing the same level of standardization as we did on the previous ones. We want to take this up to roughly 28 knots. We want to have... There's roughly 70, because they haven't been fighting quite as much as the Japanese have been. They've been doing a lot of good work, so I don't want to discredit them in any way, shape or form. They're good. They're just not quite doing the same stuff as the Japanese have been getting up to at this point. And, yep. Oh, this is looking American. This is looking American. Very American. Probably needs another one of those to have enough. Hang on, let's do it this way and put this in front. That looks cute, doesn't it? That's got enough engine efficiency. Right then, let's go for main guns. Let's go again. We're going for the 14-inch triples. We like a good 14-inch triple. On this channel, we do. Full-weight offset is already quite heavy. And let's go for torpedoes, because again, the various navies at this point are obsessed with torpedoes. They are. You might try and pretend they aren't, but they are. Secondary guns 5-inch, do we think? hang on, we want to make sure these 14-inch guns are as good as they can be and equivalent to the battleship ones. That's not a 5-inch. They're as good as they can get. Full weight is tremendously heavy. So, what we can do? Well, we actually got 1,000 tons we can shove somewhere. So we can put the aft deck up to the same weight as the main deck. For starters. And aft belt we can start increasing to cover things. Okay, I'm within 200 tons now. So let's see. Da 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 da. Close. We're gonna go with that. Okay, we'll go with that. So this is our American battlecruiser. Interesting vessel. Wonder if we can make it any faster. Nope, not particularly. Not on the weight we have. We're still much faster than our capital ships, our battleships. So let's launch and see what happens. I have a feeling I know what's going to happen, but I have a let's see what happens. So we have a straight up 2 divisions from the United States and 3 battleships and a battlecruiser from Japan. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell, and you are going to go off doing your own thing. Smoke is spotted to north. Maximum speed, Chitose. We are going to go be naughty. We are going to go do the maximum amount of naughtiness you can do with a battle cruiser. And that's why we've put them to 21 knots. Let's see what happens. And a token single torpedo launcher. Check I like how I can now build a 9040 US destroyer with 6 times 3 5.9 inch 20% length guns and a token single torpedo launcher fill requirements again. That it's good to know that you have the token single one. Yeah, we're going to cause naughtiness while we're doing this. We have spotted you all. We are outnumbered 2-1. I think that's the battle cruisers. So, yeah. I know where they are because I design them all. But I'm currently racing to cross your T. Haha! I'm just basically having fun on this one, I must admit. If I was doing this seriously, I'd have her hanging out at range because she's a battle cruiser. She's not designed to get close, and really she should not be getting close. But I'm also doing this because I want to. I'm basically shaping their entire formation at the moment. And what I want to do is I want to break the battle cruisers off from the battleships. And for me to sacrifice one battle cruiser to sink all four of their battle cruisers is worthwhile to me. But I think the battle might have got a little bit too far away from where my AI-led division is taking them. This is the trouble with an AI as subordinate. They don't. You have to keep telling them what you're doing. They can't predict it. Yeah, I think Chitose is lost. But I think she has done what I wanted her to do in tactical strategic terms. Although, I did kind of rig this against myself. I should have probably had two of them. Whoa. I think she's going to survive. Oh, this could be interesting. If I can curve her while she's still alive behind the battle line, I could be able to recover her. Oh, I think I will. Okay. So, in real world terms, this thing would not be still afloat. But it's good that it is. I have no doubt that if there was an equal battle of 4 and 4 versus 4 and 4, the Japanese would win this fight without any effort, really. And I've designed both ships and I've designed them to the best ability, but it's basically The reason it is just that the Japanese, thanks to the access to the British tech and the British infrastructure, were able to build so much bigger. Michigan has sunk due to excessive fire. Those 5-inch guns, they're becoming increasingly important in this fight, aren't they? It's amazing how much in terms of UAD, the short range small guns, which in real life in battleship engagements, once you got in the Dreadnought era, really didn't have much of an impact in fights between the ships because they rarely got into those ranges. In fact, it was almost unthinkable to get into such ranges. The sinking of Bismarck is remarked on as being such an exception because it's an exception. And honestly, a battle cruiser at this range being pummeled like this, I wouldn't expect us to still be being afloat. No matter how well built the battle cruiser. It's cute. Well, interesting enough, the AI is basically handling them like the U.S. Navy, like the Germans, and to an extent, the Japanese did actually plan on handling those vessels. So they've now lost 2. Hosho sinking now. They've lost both a battleship and a battle cruiser. And I've lost the battleship. Basically, I am now shamelessly targeting their battle cruisers because if I knock them out, I make my life a lot easier because they are the weakest, the weaker, and if they want to choose to fight a battleship kind of battle, they are more than welcome to fight a battleship kind of battle with their battle cruisers. I think there's a battleship which just lost a turret. Yeah, that just lost turrets. Yeah, I'm going to lose all my battleships very shortly. But I'm not sure anyone would consider this a good fight, a win for the Americans. Although, go Chitose, 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 Chitose. Could you please, I don't know, try some mild levels of damage control? Maybe some, I don't know. I'm fairly sure you could. If you were doing some counter flooding, you might be able to right the ship. At least enough to be able to start targeting things. How is it you've had your entire... In real life, if you've had turrets, two turrets, half turrets, go... Well, basically space program, the likelihood of your vessel still being alive is very, very low. She certainly flooded something, Chitose has. So, I started this trying to sort of thinking that in this game we're going to see similarities between the two groups. Admittedly, I have gone for my favourite secondary for my Japanese ships, 6-inch. And I do think a secondary is a very good thing for a capital ship. It's enough firepower. If it was more dual purpose, that'd be better. Yes, the gun accuracy does seem kind of high. I still find it amazing that this vessel is sailing into combat despite being in this condition. You look at this ship and you go, you should not be sailing anywhere near combat. You shouldn't be. At no point should you be getting anywhere near combat with the position, with the thing you're in. But no, you're sailing into combat apparently. And you're about to fire your 14-inch guns. at the USS New Orleans, which is the only battle cruiser at the moment currently looking mildly intact. And the battleship Delaware, which looks completely intact. And Colorado has survived this time. There comes New Orleans. Well, you might as well, but in a nicer way. So, from hell's heart I stab at V. You might as well try that, but at this point she could have got away. In that big battle with the battleships going on, they would have moved miles and miles away. In the pre-radar era as these ships are, there is no chance of them finding her if she just kept quietly plodding on her way. I'm not sure why that 6-inch turret is moving around. I hope it's not because they're planning a death ride. I really hope it's not because they're planning a death ride. That would really not be a sensible maneuver to plan a death ride. I think that's what they're planning, isn't it? Oh, good lord. Oh, there's another battleship over there. South Dakota. The one which frankly should not be here. Yeah, Chitose is is gonna sink, yes. So, this is played in 1915. Okay? Played in 1915. I just want to see what happens. I know what's going to happen, but yeah, let's see what happens. Leave them as they are. That's a cool picture. So, let's just set the two divisions. Normal, ahead, normal, ahead, normal, and yeah, let's maneuver around and sort everyone out. We have Hosho and we have Hiragi. We have a scenario which would never happen apart from in a Japanese fantasy of the Americans accepting battle when they have equal numbers of ships. No sensible American commander would ever accept this scenario because America can afford to have more ships. So they need to have more ships, and the nicest way, because you do not. how do I put this? Accepting a battle when you have equal numbers, when you have a choice to avoid it, is always the sensible thing. Because even if you win, the odds are the casualties are going to cost you more. Whereas if you turn up to fight a battle with superior force, you can often actually suffer less casualties because you'll have more ships in place. It's kind of like the whole Age of Sail doubling up thing. You turn up with one or two extra ships, they can have an outside impact because you can double up two of the enemy ships. And when they are broken up, you can then double up 4 enemy ships. And when they are broken up, you can double up 8 enemy ships. That's the point of it. Let's just do something really nasty. As you can see, someone was commenting earlier and questioning about the accuracy. The accuracy gets better as they get closer. And as they get closer, the accuracy does get a lot better. But as you can see here, the accuracy isn't that necessarily that great. You might hit with 1 or 2 shells from a salvo, but you won't get. It's very rare you'll get a full salvo hit. I'd depends when you're setting up the game. I set up one today, and I have started a whole campaign again, just for the hell of it. And it got set up and got itself all sorted out in about 5-10 minutes. Really, it took a while, but basically I used that as time to refresh my own brew fridge. That was my literal policy. That's the sort of thing. You set it up. It can be hours, days of fun, popping in, popping back to the game. But don't go off and do that. Get out of there. Yeah. Does anyone else not have game audio? You should have game audio. You should have some of the sound from the game, at least. Game capture. Can you hear the game? Well, you should be able to hear some of the... I've turned off the music quite considerably because it keeps blocking it when I upload it to YouTube. And I've... I think this battlecruiser is not long for this world, as they say. Shouldn't be, anyway. Once they get into 6-inch gun range, that's when they have real trouble. The Americans are now one ship down, and this is the other problem if you get into an even battle, because you lose one ship through bad luck, you're now fighting at a disadvantage. And you can't withdraw. Because they're faster than you are. I would also say with UAD, this advice for gameplay rather than realistic history. The secondaries on your battleships are an important choice, because if you've got the right amount of secondaries and you can use them to start fires at a decent range, then they will cause the fire damage on a battleship can cause it to be basically equivalent sinking is better due to fire. And you might have noticed a lot of the kills have been the good thing about this sort of UAD is if you had destroyers involved, you'd be having a flotilla battle taking place in the middle about now, where the 6-inch and 5-inch guns on the secondaries of the battle capital ships would be really, really telling. It is 7v7 for both sides, but the Americans lost one first, which has kind of had an impact on their formation, because they've lost a battleship, I've lost a battlecruiser. Move from division. Detach or detach from division. You guys can both do 30 plus knots. I want you to start going up the rear of these things. You two are going to cause me stress, aren't you? Because you're insisting on forming up behind this one. And basically, if you notice what I'm doing, it's now I've got 6 of my main battle force, which is the same strength as their battle force, which is theirs is made up of 3 battleships and 3 battle cruisers, and I have got my 7th vessel going wide. Basically, with the plan being to come up behind and harass. Let's see what's going to happen. I thought historically most battles do involve them firing their individual numbers, and frankly that's because of differentiating fire and working out different shell types. But this is one scenario where actually the computer game works for me. Yeah, in nicest way. This scenario, this is my fun time, and I am shamelessly doing something which is not historically accurate at all in terms of concentrating fire, but it does work rather well. And they are trying to cross my T. In return, the AI is basically turning them around. Do I have any torpedoes on the battlecruisers? I don't think I do. So there's no point in me getting in torpedo range. Yes, I know I'm concentrating on the Virginia, but in my defense, why has my battle line become quite so divided? Normal. Ahead. The AI strategy is, broadly speaking, keep everything in one spot and try and hold a line. But what I've managed to do now is basically surround them. Not quite intentionally, but I've got two battleships there, battlecruiser there, pair of battleships there, another battlecruiser there, and a battlecruiser over here. So they are now being fired at by everyone from all sides. So I've sort of instinctively, because I do this with the destroyers whenever I'm actually playing the campaign, I've got them in a box formation. And I don't know quite how I managed to get into this scenario where I have everyone in a box formation, but I do. And in a box formation is the one time where you did all target the same target. And it's very rare that you do this with battleships. But basically, in a box formation, you spot the fire, a fall or shot for everyone else. So you can do that historically accurately. They're basically keeping them all together for the maximum impact, which is quite a sensible strategy. It's basically their only option. to try and win this fight is to keep everything together in the group and try and maximize it. But yeah. We'll see what happens, because this could be very interesting. This could be very not interesting. But I've done this once before. I've accidentally boxed them in and done a box summation. It's not normally what I aim for. And you might notice now I'm just picking them off from the rear. I'm basically just taking them out as they at the stern of the group. And that again is historically usually you attack from the front, but as I'm in a chase scenario, because let's be honest, I am chasing them, they might be turning towards the one on this flank, but that means they turn away from the others, which is just not a good position to be in. I have managed to pretty much make their lives a living nightmare, because they're in caught in a crossfire. The Samoa battlecruiser is on fire in various different positions. The battlecruiser looks more actually American than the battleship. I really don't know. Does it come from their cruisers, perhaps? Not really. I'm trying to figure out where that superstructure comes from. Yeah. Again, I'm doing destroyer tactics in a battleships and a capital ship engagement. I do admit that I am doing destroyer tactics and picking off the weakest target and working my way up. The trouble is for them, they're now being spotted from every single angle, so pretty much it's a nightmare for them to try and avoid being hit. And you can see the impact on accuracy is factored into the game. Usually, again, it's when you're using destroyers as spotting vessels, but, you know, you can use other capital ships, it seems. Honestly, this is the point at which you call for destroyers. As said earlier, bless you, any scenario where an American admiral accepts battle, where they are fighting an even battle, they have given up something. The British didn't even like to accept battles where they were even matched. They accepted battles where they are outmatched when they felt they had no choice. What are you lot doing? Are you still trying to work out how to form up your lines? Oh, no wonder you're all weird back there. Let's take Hosho, Hiryu, and Hiriji. Hoso, Hiryu, and Hiriji. Detach. And put into... which mode? Normal. And... AI. Ah, while I was trying to solve you three out, my decent battlecruiser got sunk. That's the annoying thing. Frigate. Right. Sometimes the actual game mechanics of this game, I swear, work against it. Would you please form up over here? Thank you. Avoid enemy torpedoes, avoid enemy shipping, and stop getting yourselves killed for no identifiable reason. Because I think I've just lost 2 battle cruisers because of actually trying to take some time to organise you out because you got nuts. At least I've got all 4 battleships left at the moment. Oh, and a note that Sunday morning's video will probably be Saturday evening this week because Sunday morning I am cooking another barbecue apparently for my family. So now we have 2 remaining American battleships versus 4 remaining my battleships, Japanese battleships. Low on fuel. West Virginia is also low on fuel. This is not a good scenario for them to be in. Yeah, 12 battleships versus 4 and 4 would be more realistic, yes. I don't think Kearsarge is long for this world. I think that the battleship division concentrate on Kearsarge, and the last remaining battlecruiser concentrate on the flagship. Okay. Everyone now concentrates on Virginia. I think Virginia, if I were you, I would... I'll see if I were you, Virginia, I'd have left this battlefield a long time ago. I do not believe in reinforcing Pyrrhic victories. Oh, she's got fire literally coming out from the base of her funnel. That's never a good sign for a ship. Oh, that's one of the places you definitely do not want to fire. They'll be coming out. Oh, partial penetration, main gun destroyed. Ouch, this is gonna hurt. In 1915 they could have been. Remember, in the nicest way, there is no limit in 1915. The main trouble you have for the Japanese is that the only yards which could really build the ships that big are British yards, which in 1915 are dealing with World War One, and are concentrated on that. But yeah, the Japanese have yards to have plans to make their yards big enough to build those vessels those size. And the Americans could certainly have constructed this in 1915. They'd have done better than this, though. They would have done bigger. They'd have matched the Japanese construction, definitely. And there goes West Virginia. Right then, I'm going to say thank you very much, everyone, for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. And there'll be another live stream on Twitch tomorrow evening. There won't be a live stream Sunday morning because I'm going to be doing a barbecue for the whole family. But there will be there will be a brew ships on Sunday night, and I will be at some point over the next 24 hours uploading all the scheduled of lives for the next 3 months. Take care, everyone. Thank you very much for watching, and hope you enjoyed. Thank you for Santa Canero, Little Fluffy Clouds, Lions, Jack Ray, Jacob, Malaga. Thank you everyone who's been online. It's been nice chatting with you. Garsman14, thank you. Yeah. That's why you do not accept an even battle. 3 ships lost, 8 sunk. And honestly, if the Americans had managed to get the first kills, it could have quite easily gone the other way. Could have quite easily gone the other way. Take care, everyone. Thank you, John of Moon.